Today with a brand new Domaru cut sleeves from Tavern. This is a TCG accessories brand based in Singapore, and they now have cut sleeves which come in many different colors. These sleeves are a newcomer to the saturated market of cut sleeves, so let's get in some tests and pit them against other established cut sleeves in the market. And by established cut sleeves, I mean Dragon Shield and Ultimate Guts Katana. Alright, first impression, we have a Domaru regular fit in Imperial Red here. This sleeve has a textured color back, a clear and glossy front, and a black interior, quite similar to Dragon Shield's matte dual sleeves. These sleeves are standard size, so let's fit a Magic the Gathering card in it. Alright, it slots in well. There's some breathing room, so I think you could fit a card inner sleeve, so let's try that too. Now we have a card here in a KMC Perfect Fit. I believe Domaru does make their inner sleeves, but we don't have any of these, so we'll use KMC instead. Let's try to put it in. And it fits pretty well too. Now let's move on to the test. First, we have the water test. We're going to simulate dropping your cards into the bowl of water in accident. We are going to test how well the seals of the sleeve are, but for this to work well, we'll need to double sleeve the card first in this manner. Now, we're just going to dip this in the bowl of water for about 10 seconds and let's see if the card seal remains dry. And yep, the card seal dry, holds up well. Next up, the shuffle test. We have a deck of 40 cards here, all sleeved in Domaru sleeves. This is similar to a limited deck you will make when playing a game of Draft, Sealed, and Magic the Gathering, so let's do an initial shuffle. Alright, first thoughts for new sleeves. These sleeves shuffle pretty decently. They feel very similar to Dragon Shield. Yeah, but they're definitely not as sputtery smooth as the Katanas. That's unfortunate, but the Katanas are the golden standard here. And the Dragon Shoes are actually not too bad, so this is not too bad. For the final test, we have the torture test. We're going to rip apart the Domaru sleeve to test its durability. We also try this on the Dragon Shield and Katana for a direct comparison. Now, this is an extreme scenario, but it should give you a good gauge of how well the front of the sleeve is bonded to the back of the sleeve. Alright, let's start with the Domaru cut sleeve. Let's go. Oh, okay, alright, that came off. That was a little bit easy. Alright, let's try the Dragon Shield sleeve next. This is the Dragon Shield in blood red, so let's try to rip it apart in the same way. Okay, alright. This took a little more than the Domaru, but it still came off. Alright, last but not least, we have the Katana in red, so let's try to rip apart the Katana sleeve. Alright, no matter how I try, this is not gonna rip apart, so whoa, the Katana is the strongest here. Alright, final verdict. Should you try the Domaru cut sleeves? Well, these sleeves feel very similar to Dragon Shield in terms of the texture, the way they shuffle, the quality. But when I was unsleeving the deck of 40 cards I used for the shuffle test just now, I found these sleeves that already has a split end right here. It's a little unfortunate, but Dragon Shield is also known to the problem. So I'm not sure if it's just the QC of this particular batch of sleeves. But priced at USD 12, these Domaru sleeves are priced quite similarly to Dragon Shield and Katana sleeves elsewhere in the world. Tavern has said that their sleeves will be priced at SGD 12 in Singapore, which will make Domaru a much more interesting prospect over here. The Katana sleeve based on our test today looks like they're sleeves to beat, but hey, if you want a Dragon Shield alternative, do give Domaru a try. Just don't expect it to be like a Katana.